Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About It. Yeah, you guys can say it too. No need to be shy. I'm your host for today. I'm Malin. I'm here with
Julietta.
Kaylin.
Set.
Yeah, and we're here to talk about it.
Mhm.
Podcast talking about all things culture, Christianity, church, religion, just things that, aren't typically talked about in general, to be honest, because some of these topics are in general. So yeah, let's start today. Let's talk about one good thing that happened this week. I'll go first. I got a facial yesterday, which is like my second one ever.
Nice.
But it was a friend of mine. Her name's Tiffany. Tiffany, if you're watching, thank you so much, girl. I love you. And it was really nice and relaxing, and I did it before work. So that's my one good thing because it was just so good. Who's next?
I was at Festival of the Arts, so it was really funsies.
I always
was
love
with my
festival.
friends.
I love it. Good vibes.
Yes.
What do you do? Do you sing? Do you play? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do you like
And
the
it's not even like
songs?
the singing part. Like the singing part's whatever, but being with my friends is nice, you know.
No, yeah, I feel you. Kel?
Honestly, yeah, same. I was also at Festival of the Arts, and it's cool. I like the different environment, and I also get to be with my friends. I get to see Julietta a lot more
Aw,
often than
so
I don't see her.
cute.
Festival made my week really laid back. I had no homework.
Is that your
'cause-
good thing for the week?
Yeah.
No.
I had nothing like I had like 2 assignments.
Because you don't have to go to
max.
school?
I mean, I have to go to school, but like no teachers are assigning anything. Half the class is missing anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I forgot. Oh yeah, economics was literally empty.
Dang.
Oh, that's so sad.
So
Well, I guess it's better because then you don't actually
Yeah, I
have
don't
to do
have
any
any
work.
yeah, it's super easy. now.
Nice,
That's
nice.
good. Well, I'm glad you guys had a good week. Goodish, I guess. Anyways, let's jump right into it. Today we're talking about ministries. Let's talk about that. So, me and Kaylin, our family kind of has a ministry. It's called Connect Teens.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of do like camps or like just like youth activities
It's
for
it's like a
13 to 19.
it's like youth retreats,
older
youth
kids.
camps, like
Yeah.
just
to give
teenager,
them time to
a little break
connect
from
with God,
everybody.
no phones. Well, you guys been, so.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, healthy competition.
healthy
in between.
competition. Yeah. I'd
Good
say
food,
it's healthy.
really good food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Well, that's our ministry. Julieta, I know you got your Instagram ministry. You want to tell us about that?
Yes. What do you want to know?
What is it
What is
called?
it? What is it called?
Well, it was
She has a
Growing with Christ,
rebrand.
but now it's Chats with Julie.
Yeah.
I love. Only because I just felt like Growing with Christ, like it's nice, but I just feel like it wasn't me. I wanted to add my name too, and so it's like Chats with Julie, growing spiritually. So you don't forget.
Cute.
Yeah.
Period.
So what is it? Explain a
Um,
little bit, like what you do with it.
I kind of just want to go through what it's like living a Christian lifestyle,
Okay.
because I think most of the time like we start and then we kind of like get confused and stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm just gonna go through it. Like the first video I did was like forgiveness, because like you have to forgive to like move forward.
Yeah, of
kind
course.
of. So yeah, it kind like I'm gonna go step by step kind of. So I
Mhm.
feel like forgiveness was kind of maybe not the first step, but it was like it's a very important part.
A really big
Yeah.
part, yeah. So when do you upload? Is this like a weekly thing? Or?
Well, since my Florida conference video came out,
Uh-huh.
we didn't do one last week.
Okay.
But I'm doing this one.
So
Okay.
what day?
I'm thinking Fridays.
Friday. So
We'll see. Yeah.
it'll be
Keep a
down in the
lookout,
description
yeah.
box, so you can watch
When did you start?
Chats with Julie.
Not last week, but the week before that.
Okay, so like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, well,
And Growing with
Yeah,
Christ-
Growing with Christ was out
It's
for
been
a
out for a
while,
little
right?
bit.
Yeah.
So when did you start that? Because like that's when it really started.
It was a summer. Wait, I think it was last summer.
Last summer.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's been for a while now, like almost
Yeah.
a year.
A couple months.
Yeah, almost a year. Wow.
You gotta have like a little birthday party for it.
Aw.
When
When was my first video? We have to
you
check.
You gotta
We'll
go
check,
check.
we'll check
look.
after.
So let's
Okay.
say. So I know you don't have a ministry, but I know you want to start one. You want to talk about
Yeah.
that a little bit?
So basically, a couple months ago, I forgot like during one of the chapels at our school, I was like, oh my goodness, I should start a Bible study. Because like I have a lot of questions myself that are kind of
Mhm.
unanswered, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people around me that have those same questions.
Yeah.
So I was like, I should start a Bible study with like my closer friends, like their friends, just people around my age, so that we could freely discuss like our own questions about the Bible, and then we would go like those questions would be used for like our following meetings, and we would like find like the answers to those together.
Mm-hmm.
So it was basically that, just to help
You have a name
more-
for it or anything yet?
No, it's just Bible study.
Just plan. It's just the plan.
That's Bible
That's
study.
fine though. That's really important though, because I feel like so many of us have like the same questions, but maybe like no one wants to ask it because
Yeah,
it
like-
might be like dumb or whatever. You
I
know?
actually really
It's
like
just
Bible
great.
studies, but I feel like there isn't enough like young people doing it, so it's kind of just like old
Okay.
people.
Sometimes I
Yeah.
feel like the Bible
Yeah.
studies are like they like go over the easy stuff. You know
Where
what I
every-
mean?
what
and they go
everybody
straight to like
knows.
the hard stuff, and then it's like
About
wait,
prophecy
let
and
me
then
go back
you
a
know what?
couple
Forget
steps.
everything in between.
Since you're starting, you should make like a plan, like an outline.
I actually have
So
an
then-
outline. sitting
Oh,
in
you
my
do?
notes.
Oh, she's ready.
Look at that. So when do you plan to start? You know, so we can tell our subscribers to come.
soon.
Coming soon. Is it like Zoom? Is it in person? Like, what are you thinking?
I want to do it in person because I feel
Mhm.
like bring snacks and stuff, so it'll be a more like connecting environment with like no distractions. Like you're eating
Yeah.
and you're talking, and it's like you get to know more people
Mhm.
while getting.
I
like,
think so.
getting to
Human
know God.
connection is so
Yeah.
important. You know, like in person versus like online.
Yeah, I feel like on
I
the
would rather-
phone
yeah.
you kind of just like
Mhm.
talk.
I hate it online.
It isn't
Zoom,
like-
on like school,
Yeah.
so like I can't imagine like online Bible
Bible
study. You know,
And
what
I feel like also you're forced to like pay more attention, if that makes sense, because like on online, like you can,
can
be
be on your
doing
phone, you can
anything.
be,
You
like-
can do
Yeah.
anything while you're on Zoom, but like when you're in person, like
It's like real, like you
like,
have to.
yeah, like
Mhm.
you're more like centered in what's going on. You know,
Yeah.
You're getting out of like a distracting environment. Like
No,
Yeah.
exactly.
No, really, and it's not on your phone, so it's
Yeah.
not like you can kind of drift off. If someone's
Yeah.
like on their phone while the Bible study, you're like, no, put your phone
no,
away.
literally,
Yeah.
everyone's
Or
like
just-
watching you. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
You're brave
So
if you pull it out. Not gonna
what's the first one that you have? Like,
well, I did end up doing one. It was over the phone. We started talking about Matthew, I think.
Okay.
It was like we divided Matthew into like 3 sections. Me and
Okay.
Caitlin divided it.
yeah. Wait,
then-
I think it was John.
Really? I don't know. It's in my
I
phone.
think it was John too.
Maybe
I
Wait,
think it
that
wa-
was the one I was in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think.
I think it was John.
Maybe it was.
It was
John.
we were debating between Matthew or John. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay,
it
well,
probably
what was it
was
about
nice.
though? Like,
I mean,
Jasmine was the speaker for that one.
Okay.
So yeah.
so you don't
That was
remember?
a while
Oh,
ago.
okay.
No,
I
listen,
mean,
it was a while ago. It was a while ago.
it was mainly about like the first like 7 chapters of John, and like we ended up then talking about like God's miracles and how you can see
Yeah.
God in like the tiny things, and like specifically because that week there had been like 3 car accidents like back to back.
It was
so
during
we
homecoming, right?
Yeah, during banquet.
Yeah.
yeah, and
So
so
banquet, that's what it
Turned
is.
into a whole thing because one of our friends got into a really bad it was like a 3-car collision.
Yeah,
and it was
and
horrible.
That's so scary.
and there was a lot of like people that we know involved in it. So that's what we like started talking about it and like thinking about like it still could have been worse, and like
Yeah.
the injuries were minor for that kind of accident.
Yeah.
Like the injuries were still like pretty bad, but like for an accident like that,
yeah,
mhm.
for
Like,
like an intense.
God was
one.
with you.
And it
Aw.
was we started talking about like, do you pray when you get in the car? Like,
Yeah.
what do you do when you get in the car? Like, do you listen to music? Like, what type of music you listen to?
Mhm.
Like, stuff like that. So, like, it was a very open conversation. Very,
Yeah,
like,
it was really
interesting.
nice. It never went silent. It was always we were always
That's
talking about
good.
something.
And then Julietta asked like, "What's the correct way to pray?" and stuff like
Yeah.
that. And then that was gonna be another topic, but we
We
never
just-
had
yeah.
a second.
Well, it's coming, right?
Yeah,
it's coming, it's
in the
coming.
works, it's in the
It's
works.
in the works. Well, I'm
Don't worry,
excited
guys.
to go to the next one. If I'm not too old, because last time you told me I was too old. to
No,
go.
that's
But
not
it's fine.
Yikes.
It's fine. So, do you think your ministry is worth it? Because I know, like, sometimes, like, there's so much that goes behind the scenes on it, and, like, it's so much work.
It's really stressful.
And then
too.
after you put it out, do you think it's still worth it? Do you think you should, like, you know?
I think it is.
You think so? Why? Tell me.
I take a lot of time. When I first started, I wanted it to be like como, like I wrote it and I wanted it to be the exact words I wrote. So it was
Mhm,
really
like
difficult.
a script.
Exactly. It was really difficult because I had to memorize it and I would have to stop and I would have to do this. And I didn't really like know about cuts and stuff. Like I wouldn't cut. So I would have to like record myself and then like if I messed up I'd have to like I'd
Start
make
from the
myself
beginning.
start
Oh,
over
no.
again.
God.
Just because like I don't know, and I would take like hours just making one video, and at the end like I would I would get nervous. I would post it and I turn my phone off and forget about it. But I
do that
pray
too,
that
though.
like
I'm not gonna lie.
I pray that like it just reached the right audience.
Oh,
Like
that's
someone
good.
who
Yeah.
just needs it, even if it's one person,
Mhm.
and that's like what really like keeps me going. Like if it just
Mhm.
reached one person that needs
That's
it, like
enough.
that's it.
Yeah. No, yeah. With Connect Teens, at least we've seen some good. Like we've seen in the
We
past
have.
few years, 2 people
yeah,
get
2 people have
baptized.
gotten baptized.
So like that's like like obviously makes you feel better about what you're doing and makes it feel worth it.
That's
We've
what
had a
keeps
couple
us going. I'm not even gonna lie.
haters also, like
there's-
that it's like
with all the conflict, all the stress, all
Yeah.
the planning beforehand, like
it's intense.
I think every year we always reach the point where it's like, yeah, we're not doing this.
No, literally
We're not
right
doing
after
this.
we're like, we're not gonna do it again next year. Like it's over.
Yeah.
And then by the time the new year comes, we're like, okay, so like, what? We
It's
gotta
not
start
even-
planning and we gotta
it's
start
not even
doing
that. It's
it.
just
And
like seeing like the effects afterwards, and like people who come out says after and like, oh, thank you so much for that. Like,
Mhm.
thank you for doing this. And then you're like, it's not like, oh, I did it, but like God helped me to do it type
Yeah.
of thing. And I think that's why we keep doing
Mhm.
it. Same with like the baptisms. Like we'd never expected or
Yeah,
planned
literally.
it. Like it's always been a spontaneous kind of
Mhm.
thing. So that's always been like super interesting and cool. And also we do it at Camp Colaqua. We have done it
We
in
have
Camp.
done it, yeah.
We have
The
done it at
past
Camp
2 years have
Colaqua.
been at Camp Colaqua.
Yeah, and the springs are always freezing cold. So anybody
cold.
who goes into them is brave. So like that alone, like I don't know, you
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have to like be brave to do that and truly want to do it. And the fact
Mhm.
that we facilitated that, like
yeah,
that's
I
really
think that's a good word,
like
facilitate the opportunity.
special, yeah.
What do you think? Good, bad to have a ministry? Is it hard? Is it worth it?
It's a little challenging, at least with my experience. But I feel like after things start going like smoothly and you get like a hold of things, it's definitely worth it. And like you can see how it helps everyone else and
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah, well, now that you mentioned that, and maybe Julietta, because Julietta also has a podcast,
Mhm.
Spiritual Sparks. I'll also link it
Every
down
time-
below.
Every time we say welcome back, I can't like I was about to say spiritual sparks. I can't get it out of my head.
No.
Even when it's like the YouTube thing, the chat with Julie, I was like, welcome to spiritual sparks.
No, but I was gonna say like maybe I don't know if this is just me or maybe you can feel it with the podcast and also the YouTube. But I'm like, it's not even like it's not that many people that are gonna see it. Like,
yeah.
is it worth it? You know what I mean? Like, and then it's hard to come up with like different topics to talk about. It's hard to
Because
bring
be
different people
interesting.
on and like be something that like is actually at least for us like something that's actually current and like
Mhm.
talked about and like. I think we've done
Isn't,
pretty
like,
good,
boring.
but
no,
like
you guys are doing
like
so well.
Aw, thank
yeah, I'm
you.
so proud of you guys.
Thanks. But like, have you felt like that? Like, it's like,
Yeah, because
it
you
even-
like stress yourself out,
Yeah.
and then at the end it's like a few like followers and stuff. But it's not bad. Like
Mhm.
I don't think, like it should stop you. Maybe it's like a little embarrassing at the beginning.
okay, that was my
Yeah.
next question. Have you ever felt embarrassed about it? 'Cause
Not
Kaylin-
really.
Kaylin, after the first one came out,
Listen.
Kaylin was like, "Oh,
Yeah, because
she got
then
comments
literally
from
the
people from
next
school.
day, I got so many people coming up to me like, "Oh my gosh, you have a podcast! Like, is it really yours?" I was like, "Well,"
So she
it's
blames
like-
me.
Yeah, I was like, "Well, it's like mine and my sister's," and honestly, I didn't even do much for it. But like the fact that so many people come up to me, I'm like, "What? Like this is so strange.
No,
It's so awkward."
After the second episode, the one like the first
The
one
one
I
that
was
you were
on,
on? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
there was a girl that was literally standing in the lunch line, and some girl comes up to me. She goes, "By the way, I watched the podcast. It was really good." And I was like, "Oh,
thank you." Yeah, Kaylin
like-
had someone come up to her in the dollar store. or
Yeah.
something
the
like
dollar
that.
store."
The dollar
Well,
store.
it's a girl I went to high
Yeah.
school with.
It-
Brittany, if you're watching it, I
Oh.
love you.
Brittany, she came
My
up to me.
chemistry
She,
partner.
I was literally like, she was on the phone, but I was in like the line to like, check out, and she like came up out of nowhere. She's like, "Oh my gosh, I saw you have a podcast. I'm so happy for you and so proud of you." She just walked away, like, and she was still on the phone. I was like, "This is so sweet," but it's so like, I don't know. That's
But do you feel
scary.
embarrassed?
I don't feel embarrassed, but it's like,
Because sometimes
I-
for me,
it's
when I
different.
like
Yeah.
promote it, I'm like, oh my god, like
Yes,
you
that's
know,
what it is.
like
Because you
hey
take it
guys,
serious
please,
to
like
Yeah.
promote it.
you
You take
know?
it serious to promote it, and then people click on it. It's like,
you know,
oh.
they're actually watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, some of my friends aren't gonna be like, you have a podcast?
yeah.
So I'm like,
I think
"Ugh, am I embarrassed?"
it's embarrassing to be like, yeah, like please watch it, please
Yeah.
subscribe.
My
Because,
friends.
Like, yeah,
Okay,
no,
I'm sorry.
No, you're
No.
fine. Go ahead.
My friends have actually been like really supportive. Well, my close friends, they're always
Okay.
like, "Oh my gosh, I'm watching your podcast."
Oh, that's so.
So it's really
cute.
nice. But like other people that aren't really close, it's like kind of weird to be like, "Oh yeah, I have a podcast."
No, yeah.
What are you doing today?
No,
Oh, I'm recording.
I have to record.
I have to record?
Yeah. Me telling my family at lunch, I was like, oh, we have to go record now. Like, sorry, bye, thank you, bye.
a full-time like
No,
person
yeah.
who does this, and it's kind of like weird. But
So do
Yeah.
you think the ministry is what's embarrassing or like promoting it? Because it kind of sounds like promoting it is what's embarrassing, not necessarily like.
I wouldn't say it's embarrassing. It's like you're letting like the fact that you're opening it up for people to criticize it.
It's like vulnerable. You're like being,
it's the vulnerability of it that I'm like, I don't know if I really like this.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because I know we've been talking about this podcast for quite a while before we even like started it, and like the whole planning, like it was super exciting. But the moment you like you open it up and you post it or like something like that, it's like
it becomes real.
It becomes real, and I think that's the scary part. And like, I wouldn't necessarily say embarrassing, but like the intimidating part of it. Like, having people like look at you.
No one has come up to us and been like, I hated it. It was so bad. Never do it again. You know,
which, like if you do want to say that, just
leave us
let
a
us
comment,
know.
You know,
we'll talk about it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But it's like it's all been positive, like which feels great. But it's like, oh my god, people are actually
like people are watching it and can think.
And thank you for watching,
and please continue watching.
It's just I think it's more like a shock, like what I'm actually like you said, it's real. Like it's not like a dream, like you know, like how it's real life.
Same with connectings, like after it's not necessarily embarrassing, but it's like it's intimidating to like after all this planning, actually seeing people get on the bus on Friday.
I get nervous
and then you start like you actually start the first day and like start everything and like all like the conflicts and like everybody's like talking about it. Like that's the scariest part where it's like you're like the most vulnerable in that position and like it's scary.
No, literally.
I think it's a thought, like, is it going to be good enough? Like, are they going to like it? Because with that, it's like, are the games going to be good? Well, I don't know what you guys think, but I just imagine that, like, are they going to be interested? Are they going to be, like, you know, have fun? I think that's what you guys think about for, like, the podcast and promoting that kind of stuff. It's like, do people watch it and, like, actually, like, watch the whole thing? And like
I'm like watching. I'm like, So you, anything? You've been a little quiet. Come on, tell us your thoughts.
So I don't really, with the Bible study, I kind of just picked out like picked out sounds kind of like selective, but like I accumulated people who also would like to participate with me, and it wasn't really like a struggle asking people. I was just kind of like, and even if they didn't want to, I just still like forward them a message. I was like, oh, you know, like if you don't want to, you don't want to. Like that's
it's up to you.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be mad at you.
I'm not gonna force you.
I promise.
Like, if you don't want to, you don't want to. But I didn't really get anybody saying no. I did get people, it was kind of difficult to get it started because, and even now, everyone's busy or they just don't reply. But to get them to, hear about it, it wasn't, hard. They were all like, oh, that's such a good idea. And then.
So, there's obviously a need for it, right? Because if everyone's saying, oh, my God, yeah, I do want to do that, you know?
And they're excited for it, too, I think.
Kind of, I think, to be like, oh.
It is a good idea. I really like it because I feel like there's no, real, Bible studies. So it's like, oh.
And,
at least in our area.
Exactly.
And then,
not even. I don't know about any. I'm sorry. I don't know.
I know people who have Bible studies, and then I'll bring up, oh, I want to be part of a Bible study, and then they'll tell me about theirs, but then not invite me.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I've been in similar situations where, it's not like they don't invite me, but it just seems like it's you have to apply to get in, that type of stuff. You don't you don't have to you don't have to be apply, but it's a tight circle type of thing.
Come to my Bible study, but you let me know.
Yeah. You let me know if you can come or not. No, I started a Bible study it was just 3 of us.
Really?
It was me, Betsy, and Cecia, and I think Gabby came to one. And we would go out to places to get coffee or a restaurant.
Oh, that's so cute.
And just do it there. Yeah, you should do something like that because it's easier. And we'd get food and you get to spend the time with the person and talk to them because I feel like most people just want to talk to each other, and you get that time. But then you actually, once you feel comfortable, it kind of breaks the shell, and then you can actually pop open a Bible and be like, okay, now we're doing
that's
this.
So cute.
So
wait. We should have a picnic.
Yeah.
We should have a picnic in a nice park.
Yeah, with all our subscribers.
Everybody
but yeah,
welcome to our. Oh my gosh, you could do a crossover episode with that's Bible study, and then your thing, and then record a thing, and it's the Bible study, but on your channel.
Podcast,
a collab. Yeah, we definitely could.
We could do that at the
because I think
we'll keep it in the works.
A
podcast subscribers.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. That's actually a really good idea.
100 subscriber collab.
Yeah. Once we get there, hey, we're at 60 this week. So
congratulations.
But yeah, my next question: would you recommend, if someone wanted to start a podcast, what's one tip of advice you'd give them?
Go for it. and
Okay.
like pray. Like not even just pray so it's like to get it started, but if you encounter a struggle, this is what I've been doing recently.
Mhm.
Like something goes on, and then there's something about that situation. I try to find out about the situation, what particularly is bothering me and what is confusing me, and then I
Oh.
pray about it, and something will happen that'll answer my original question.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
I've never thought about it like
wow,
that.
that's so like
So yeah,
elaborate and like it's good.
whenever like I face a challenge or I'm just like I don't know if I should do this or this, I'll pray about it and then I'll get a sign. Like it's not even direct. Like obviously I have to pay attention for it.
Mhm.
But, like it'll catch me off guard and it'll just be something
Yeah.
that immediately answers my question.
I actually I just had one of those. Like I was like, it was really random. I was like, if my friend mentions donuts, then like this is real.
Uh-oh.
And like she mentioned donuts, and I didn't even realize till the end of the day. And I was like, oh wow.
You
like,
had to go think
what?
back.
What?
And I was like, wait a
I was
minute.
like, they will mention donuts. And she said, oh my gosh, I want some donuts right now. And it was really weird because I just thought of it like super random because why would she say donuts? Like there has to be something, you know, like why is she going to say she wants donuts? And then she says she wants donuts. It was really like, wow, like
Wow.
you're really there. Like, you know,
yeah, it's like reassuring.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean,
oh wait, why?
No, it's okay. No, it was important. It was really good.
Yeah.
But
What-
I
what
mean,
advice?
I agree with this. Like, if you have the passion and the motivation to do it, just do it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I agree with what you said. Like, pray to God. Like, God's the only one who's going. Like, if it's gonna be like, if it's the right thing to do and what He wants you to do, He's gonna make that path and He's
It's gonna
make it
happen.
work.
Mm-hmm.
And also pray for consistency. Because I think
Okay.
that's one of the biggest things with ministries.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to, like, once you have your first, like, a lot of people have told us, like, it doesn't matter. Like, posting your first video isn't the hardest. It's posting the second one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because
And
it's
keeping
hard
it-
to
and
continue
keeping it
doing it
going.
and
That's
keeping
what I
it
struggle
going.
with a lot.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, like, that's the biggest prayer to do. Just pray, like, and ask God to give you that consistency and that motivation to continue doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, if you have that passion, that motivation, do it. Like, don't let anything or anyone stop you. Because I know we've had a lot of people, like, not a
Have
lot of people,
negative
but there's a lot
comments
of people that have had little comments, not only about, like, the podcast, but about connectings and stuff like that. And, like, it's discouraging, but you always have to think back of, like, why am I doing this? Like, what's the real reason to be doing a podcast or doing this ministry? And, like, if it's the answer is Jesus, then, like, who am I to stop you, you know?
Mm-hmm. See, I think my piece of advice would be like, even if one person watches it, like, you got to keep doing it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because, like, yeah, you want to hit 1 million views. Like, who doesn't? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I think, like, once you, like, if you stay consistent, like you said, and you don't know who needs it the most. It could be that one person that clicked on the video
Mm-hmm.
and it reached them. Like, that's enough.
God's
you know what I
gonna
mean?
make that person hear what they
Exactly.
need to hear.
Even if they're the only person viewing. So, like, you don't need 100 million views
Yeah.
like, to feel like you are actually doing something.
And honestly, I think we're mentioning more, like, digital ministries and more, like, physical ministries.
Mhm.
But a ministry could be, like, just talking to someone,
Mhm.
someone you're not used to talking to. Like, it's sharing the gospel no matter what, no matter how. And, like, even if you don't get
I
the
don't
response.
think that's a ministry. I think that's
Not, okay,
a
not
kind
like,
act,
but, like,
there's different kinds of ministries.
there's different
Like, praying
types
for
of ministries.
someone, like,
Yeah,
that
and
kind.
even if, like, that person, like, that you pray for isn't, like, oh my gosh, like, you're the answer to the prayer that I need. This is what I needed. Like, even if they don't say that, just know that God is, like, planting a seed in that
Mhm.
person's heart. Like, God is, like, still using you no matter what. So, like, even if you don't get, like, the great comments or if you just if you don't get all of that, like, that's not why you're doing it. Like, God is still working. He's just not, like, he's letting it simmer. Like, he's letting it cook. But sorry, I was like,
No, it makes sense.
You can say kind words to them, and God's gonna. Even if they're not like thinking about it from like, oh, God's saying this to me. Whatever they needed to hear is gonna stick out to them regardless. Something's gonna stick with them about the words that you said, even if it's not the whole thing, and they didn't even get the main idea of it.
mhm.
Yeah.
Something that they needed to hear is gonna stick out to them.
Or even if they zoned out from what you were saying and that what they
And
zoned
they
out was
click
like
back,
was
right.
what they needed to. I don't know. Like, God
The one
works in
thing they
mysterious
needed. Yeah.
ways. Like,
It's going to get to them at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Julieta, what's your advice?
Wait, what was the question?
It's okay.
No,
What-
my advice for
Wait,
what?
your advice for someone that wants to start a ministry.
Oh, consistency is important, and letting God use you by
Mhm.
communicating with Him. Find someone who's like pushing you.
Okay.
Like
that's a
even
good
if it's not like
Good point.
like my dad pushes me a lot. He's the one who pushes me all the time. Even though like I didn't tell him, okay, you have to push me. Like I prayed for someone who would like, or well, I never like prayed for it, but my dad has always been like the biggest like
supporter.
Yeah, and my mom too. My mom is like the one who watches, and she's the one who like rewards me. Like, oh my gosh, you're doing so well. And she's also my critique. She always critiques me. Why did you wear that? Why did you say that like that?
No, it's okay.
But it's instead of
my
love.
mom will be like, next time you have to move so like the camera can get it right. I know, I feel you on that.
Yeah, just like that. But my dad like pushes me, so I think it's like good to have people around you who push you and like to encourage you. So like it just pray to God for people who kind of like, you know, like push you.
Yeah, and surround yourself with those people, because like sometimes like you might have to move. Like God will provide the people, but you might have to move to them, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah. My next question, so it's not even a question. I just want to clarify because, well, you guys are younger than I am, but we're pretty young. I just wanted to ask you, did your parents, I don't want to say force you, but did they force you to do this in any way? Because I feel like sometimes people are like, why are you doing that ministry? It's probably because her parents are forcing her. Yeah. You know what I mean? And and like, if your parents are forcing you to do a ministry, I feel like it's not really coming from your heart. So I don't think that's right.
Real.
You know what I mean? Like you don't get that connection. So I wanted to ask, are your parents, how do they feel about it? Let's go about that.
Okay,
are they
so
forcing you, and how do they feel?
When I first told my mom about it, I was like, oh, like me, Kayla, and Jasmine we're gonna try to do a Bible study with some people. She was like, okay. She was like, oh, that's like really, well, okay. She didn't respond with okay, like she didn't care, but she was like, oh, that's cool. And then she was like, oh, that's nice. And then that was it.
Okay, so so just to clarify to everyone out there, she didn't like force you to do it. You did this out of your heart.
Then, like she didn't like turn it into a thing that Sheila was like making me keep up with either. It was just like I made a comment about it, and then she was like, oh, that's so nice, and then that was it.
Oh, that's good though. Mineba, if you're watching, she commented. She commented on.
I know. I saw. She was like, I'm gonna teach her about the prank specific part.
She's cute. She's cute.
Yeah. Julietta, what about you? Because you're even younger than
all of us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, what was it?
A girl.
I remember her answer. I just don't.
Okay. Did your parents force you to do this?
Oh yeah.
How do they feel about it?
You
kind of answered how they feel about it, but did they force you?
No. But when I first did my first video, some people were like, "Oh, this is like really encouraging," but other people were like, "Are your parents forcing you to do this?" And it was really like, you know,
like, why would you even think that?
Yeah, like it was so raw, and it was like. I was like, my first video was in a bathroom. Like, I don't know, the lighting was really good, but it was really like, I feel like if my parents were forcing me, it'd be more like professional kind of. It wouldn't be, and it would be like better said. I feel like someone who's forcing you to do something, it'd be like, okay, you say this and you say this and you say this, you know?
Yeah.
But it was really like, I wrote the thing, like I set up the camera, I did like everything. My parents like it was like my first video, so my parents were like supporting me, like, oh yeah, like what you're doing is really good, but they were never forcing me. My dad keeps me in check always. But he doesn't force me really.
Yeah, like if you miss a video, he's like, yeah, you probably should have, but it's okay, you know. My dad's like that. My dad will be like, are you posting a video this week? And I'm like, yeah, I'm actually recording today. And like, oh, okay, that's nice.
And yeah, I think at least both of our parents have been really supportive, like with the podcast itself. Like my dad like helped facilitate it, like, and he was one who like kind of like put the idea. Yeah, he also has a podcast. So if you want, we can link it down.
The podcast family.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, my aunt has a podcast too, actually.
Really? Oh wait, she's from Forest City, right?
No.
Sure.
Oh yes,
we can also link it down below too. But he was the one who kind of like started it and kind of pushed us to actually do it. And then like, I think the idea itself, like it grew out of you first. Like this is really your podcast.
Yeah.
But it like
doesn't do nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm
kidding.
But like we're not forced. Like and it really is like whatever we want to do, and they're very supportive. My mom, very similar to you, like she's our biggest fan, our greatest supporter, but also like she wants us to look good and look presentable.
You know what I mean? She doesn't like, oh, it's good, and that's it. Like she tells you the truth.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's why like makes it like
that's what you need.
Yeah, it makes it better.
It helps.
That's what you need.
The critiques is what helps you like get better and better every time.
And I'd rather hear it from my mom than like some
Yeah.
random person. You know what I mean? Like, because it's coming out of it's coming out of love. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it's coming out of place
She does
of,
it because she
love.
wants us to be better, not because she
Yeah.
hates us. You know what I mean?
No,
like
yeah.
any other person would.
I think also for Connect Teens,
I was
like,
gonna say for Connect Teens, that ministry started for us.
yeah,
because
we
like
kinda
my
were the
parents
ones
kind of
to
saw
involve
like
them.
that age gap. Not really being like, you don't have VBS, you don't have anything really going
Yeah,
on.
'cause
for
you
those
talked about
people.
how,
you
like-
work for VBS, but there's no VBS
Yeah,
for
for
you.
you,
If
you
that
know
makes
what I
sense.
mean?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
Like, you're watching these little kids dance.
No, literally,
And
like,
And
you
they
don't
want you to
really-
dance too, like.
and it's so tiring.
Hey, those songs are low key fire though.
They are.
kinda
They're
do
good.
hit.
They're good. They're
They
good.
There's
do
the one
hit.
from last year that I still remember.
Come on, sing it.
No,
Come on, come on.
I'm not singing it. But I
No,
still
maybe there's a
remember it.
producer out there.
Right? You can hire me
Sorry.
up. I still know
You
the
know?
dance too. I'm not
Well,
singing.
yeah.
You know the
Come on,
dance?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just a
sing
little
like
show.
one line.
Yeah, just a little bit.
About that.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, so I think it started for us, even though, and then like, you know,
we
help
get
them.
excited for
Yeah, we
it,
do.
and like we
Well,
help come
Kaylin's
up with.
still like a student.
But I mean, I
that's
still
'cause
I still try
I-
to help, and like
yeah.
I give the critiques as the student, and then like
Mhm.
you guys like as the like
But
administrators
I feel
or
like
whatever.
you like come in and you're like in the group, so then you get to hear everyone's opinion, and then
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
And
Yeah,
like
but we
you're
try-
unfiltered. Like
Listen, we try to
that.
make it even though,
Not like
'cause
that,
we
but
don't
yeah.
want her to like not have that experience as a
Yeah.
student.
No,
you know?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like kind of awkward because like we'll be in the living room talking about like the games and stuff. We'll be like, Kellen, go to your room. Kellen,
Yeah.
you can't be out here because then it's like unfair to her and like
And
her
to the
team,
team,
you
too.
know, and everything.
So
and,
when it comes to games and stuff, I try not to be involved. But like after the fact, like
like
we'll,
when we have to fold the t-shirts
Yeah.
and the bandanas
and stuff
you
like
know,
that, I'll be involved in that. Or like if they need help organizing or day of like or at the
Yeah, on the
event
bus
itself,
and-
I'll at the bus or like I'll be running around if I have to for you
Mhm.
guys. Like we all, it really is a family thing, and like
Yeah.
it's family stress.
yeah,
But
lots of stress. But
yeah, a lot of tension too sometimes. But I mean, it's not forced. Like
Mhm.
I think we are very blessed to have parents who are excited to do things like that,
Mhm.
and we're very like willing to be involved.
yeah.
So, because I know you're starting to take over like you're becoming the
Yeah.
head of everything soon.
Yeah, a little
not
bit.
soon, but
Well, I
like little
kinda
by
am.
little.
I kind of
But
was,
yeah.
basically. Well, I told my mom, I was like, I want to be a team leader. I don't want, like, I'm so competitive. Like, I like to be with the team and, like, playing the games. And I'm like, I could win. My mom was like, but you made all the games. You can't do that anymore. And she was like, you're either this or that. And I was
Wait,
like,
but
okay, fine.
usually, well, last year you played like the little things, like the capture the flag thing.
Oh, because
and
those aren't, like, for
Right,
points.
right, right.
Like,
That's
yeah.
right.
I'm just too competitive, and I like to
Wait.
play all the games.
She was
I played with the
but-
staff team.
Because it's
Yeah.
the thing. Wait, what is that called? The
Steal
other
the
game.
bacon.
Pañuelo?
No. Oh, the scavenger hunt and stuff. You
Oh,
made
I
all
was
that?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah. So I do a lot of the behind the scenes,
Mhm.
the games and stuff like that, which is a lot more work than you would think. But you know.
I mean, and if
yeah.
anybody within those ages are watching this,
13 to
feel
19.
free to reach out.
This year's
so
gonna
they can
be
join.
different.
It is gonna be a little bit
Why?
different.
Yeah.
You'll have to see.
Little-
You'll have to
little
see.
spoiler?
You'll have
yeah,
to
little
see.
spoiler. It's just gonna be different. You'll have to sign up.
Now I'm gonna be curious.
It'll be fun, though.
So like,
Well,
what is
Now
it,
we're gonna be
September?
no,
eager
this
to
year's
know.
gonna be a different date.
Oh,
Is it actually?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't know. I have to ask Dad. But yeah, I think we kind of talked about ministry.
Yeah.
Any other comments or anything you guys want to say?
DM me if you want to join the Bible study.
Yes, I'll link our Instagrams down below. Subscribe, please.
Any
comment.
questions, any
Tell us if you like
comments?
the videos, anything you'd like
Yeah.
to hear our opinions
Oh,
on.
and
'cause
if you
again-
have a ministry.
Yeah,
link-
we'd
if you want to
let
start
us
a
check it out.
ministry.
Yeah,
We
so
wanna
please
help.
comment and then
Yeah.
we'll give you a little shout out next
Yeah.
week, you know?
I mean, and
Maybe-
it's important to like keep ministries alive. Like,
Yeah, I
how
think
else
so.
are you gonna spread the good news?
Yeah.
Even if it's not a lot of followers.
Yeah, you
It
can still
doesn't
do
matter.
it.
Yeah.
A
And I
ministry's
think
a ministry.
a ministry can support another ministry. It's not like
Absolutely.
it's not like a
Against
ministry that
you.
can win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like we're all here to help. No, because like some people are like, oh no, like you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
I mean,
don't know,
we
that
can
made
all
no
reach
sense,
a
but-
different person, different
Exactly,
audience. Like,
exactly.
you never know
Exactly.
who's gonna.
So
I
that's
think-
why it's important to support each
yeah,
other.
kind
in
of
it.
all different, have different audience
Mhm.
kind of because you talk about things that aren't normally talked about. But me and Vanessa, like, it's like kind of different. So I think we can have different audience, and we can join it, and it doesn't have to be something that's
and
like,
still support each other.
It's
and
not
still
competition.
It's not a competition. Yeah. But yeah, thank you so much for listening to Let's Talk About It. And don't forget, God made you special, and He loves you very much. Bye. Julietta.